McIntosh with the BBC News. Hello. Donald Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, has denied allegations that he received secret cash payments while working as a political consultant for the now deposed Ukrainian leader Viktor Yanukovych. A spokesman said Mr. Manafort didn't recognize a document said to be an invoice for $750,000. Its authenticity has not been verified. A Ukrainian MP, Serhiy Leshkashenko, produced the invoice at a news conference.
Today I present the documents signed by Paul Manafort. This is a document which was the purpose for payment from Yanukovych to Manafort. It was in year 2009, October 14. This was the contract between Manafort and the shell company registered on Belize.
At least 2 students have died and more than 20 others have been injured in a stampede at an elementary school in central China. John Sudworth reports from Beijing.
According to China's Xinhua news agency, a group of students was crowded into a bathroom at the number 3 experimental primary school in the city of Puyang in Henan province. Others began pushing, and according to another report, the bathroom's exterior wall collapsed in the crush. The injured have now all been taken to hospital, with some reported to be in a serious condition.
The German authorities are deporting 2 men born in the country but whose parents are foreign. The men were arrested last month on suspicion of planning an attack, though they've never been charged. Marcus Erber reports.
German police designated the 2 men as dangerous after raiding their homes in the state of Lower Saxony. They say there was a concrete danger of a terror attack, although the police officers did not find enough evidence to charge the 2. The local authorities say they will now be flown to Nigeria and Algeria, respectively, after a court upheld the deportation order. This is the first time that Germany is deporting people born in the country who are not convicted of any serious crime.
After years of campaigning by gay activists, Germany is set to quash the convictions of 50,000 men convicted of homosexual acts under an historic law. The estimated 5,000 convicted men are still alive. The Justice Minister, Heiko Maas, said the travesty of justice could never be completely erased, but the government wanted to rehabilitate the victims. The former Congolese Vice President Jean-Pierre Bemba is awaiting sentencing at the International Criminal Court after being found guilty of bribing witnesses and falsifying evidence. The court found that while in prison, Mr. Bemba and 4 associates bribed and manipulated at least 14 key witnesses at his war crimes trial. He's already serving an 18-year sentence for those crimes. World News from the BBC. Events are taking place in Belgium to remember the 32 people killed and several hundred injured in the Brussels terrorist attacks 1 year ago. King Philippe is leading tributes with a minute's silence at the city's airport and later at a central metro station which were targeted in the attacks. The 2 suicide bombings were Belgium's worst ever terrorist atrocities. The White House has confirmed that President Trump will attend a NATO summit in Brussels on the 25th of May, his first foreign trip since being sworn in. The White House said Mr. Trump was looking forward to meeting his NATO counterparts to reaffirm America's strong commitment to the North Atlantic Alliance. During his campaign, he accused NATO of being obsolete. The South Korean Defense Ministry says a missile launch on Wednesday by North Korea appears to have ended in failure. Reporting from Seoul, here's Steve Evans.
The South Korean military said that 1 missile was fired today and it exploded in mid-air. The failure indicates that the North Korean program still has some way to go before its blood-curdling threats to turn Seoul and Washington into seas of flame are achievable. In addition to its missile failures, North Korea is not thought to have developed heat-resistant material necessary to launch a truly long-range intercontinental ballistic missile.
The World Health Organization says 10 years after the first global health treaty came into effect, the use of tobacco worldwide has fallen by 2.5%. The researchers found that in Europe and South America, where measures such as higher tobacco taxes, mandatory warning labels and advertising bans were implemented, consumption fell by up to 7%. In Africa and Asia, where implementation was lax, rates increased by as much as 12%. Tobacco consumption is the single greatest preventable cause of death. BBC News.